Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod with Matthias Bellman with us today. He's CEO and founder at Passion.io. Matthias is a pretty cool guy. He interviewed me on his pod, and we both think the same in terms of scale, in terms of growth, in terms of startups. We're going to talk SaaS, values, retention, creator economy, and product-led growth today. Matt is in Germany. I am in Mexico, and this podcast is brought to you by podfire.com. That's my podcasting company. If you want to start, scale, be invited to pods, you can go to podfire.com or just Google Charles Cormier. Matt, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and about Passion.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm Matt, German, 39 years old. February will turn 40. I'm father of two kids. Founded Passion in almost 10 years ago. Backstory is became one of the bigger instructors on Udemy with more than 50,000 students under my belt, and then decided that it sucks because I had people cloning my courses, reselling them at lower price points, and also Udemy dictated branding and pricing, was running on a lot of discounts. So decided to move on. Saw the most successful creators leaving to Teachable, Thinkific, Kajabi. Decided for Teachable back then, and wasn't very happy, and then spent 2 years in the basement to build the first prototype of the platform. Then met my co-founder, and then we actually commercialized the whole thing, made the first 7-figure amount, and then ultimately in the very beginning it was an agency almost, and then we saw the opportunity to make it self-serve, created a SaaS out of it that launched 2019 in Jan. And yeah, now it's a few years later and it's a 10 million ARR business.
Where did your ambition come from? And have you reached your ambitions when you were a child?
Where did my ambitions come from? My mission is to make dreams a reality. Why? Because I think that's really cool. It makes life worthwhile and vivid and so on. So I have this dream about myself that I can make all these things happen that are in my head. And I think the proxy to get there is to make other people's dreams a reality. Yeah. Passion is my best shot to actually make that a reality. I mean, I could go to Africa and build a school, okay? But with a for-profit SaaS, for, in our case, the creator economy, giving them the tools, the education, and the mindset to take that step, to quit the 9-to-5 zombie life and make their own dreams a reality is my best shot to actually fulfilling on my life mission. So that's where the ambition comes from.
And it seems you're very much on track to, well, I mean, to me, you look very successful on many fronts. Are you satisfied with that growth of yours and what you've achieved so far?
Oh, fuck, that's a personal development question, because satisfaction and fulfillment is also something I would say, if I look back 5 to 10 years, like not being satisfied, definitely something that drives me. I want to become better every day. And I always see things very easily which are not good and need to improve. So I think one of the things that I am also working on is to see more of the success and the achievements, and not just like think, okay, this and that needs to be better.
You've been in the venture world, and arguably you're still in it. Next year, private equity is going to be 10% of my time spent. I'm going to serve these clients as my cold email and podcasting as a service clients. But I'm also going to do some rev share with them, and I'm going to put some of my own funds into this business. My goal is to drastically reduce the sell cycle. For example, buy a business today and sell it at 10x the markup tomorrow. What do you think of these goals, and how much % of your time are you still spending in that VS Passion?
I spend 100% on Passion. And what you're saying is you want to do lead gen for PEs to identify companies that they can invest in, and you get a share of money invested, and therefore build up a portfolio of companies which are then ultimately becoming big. PEs sell it to the next one, and you can actually have a really nice upside. Is that correct?
Yeah, and well, that would be more long-term. Short-term, it would be to get paid big time in a very short amount of time, which seems like sorcery to this industry, but that's my goal: drastically reduce the sales cycle and make big money quick.
Yes, I mean, look, the PE industry has a lot of dry powder. Valuations came down. I think their founders know it. Everyone knows, like, everything is now cheaper. So I think PEs can make good deals going forward, and they need to allocate these funds. Tell me, like, how do you think about money, making money very quickly? A typical PE journey would be 3 years plus.
So, okay, a couple of scenarios here. And by the way, I'm dropping my plan for that in 7 days in my newsletter, the full plan. It's not a fully made master plan, but it is definitely the V1 of the plan. My hypothesis is that there's private equities out there, let's call them the 1%. They are specialized in one niche, right? Like they buy HVACs in Orlando, for example. They buy quick, they've got tons of cash, and they've got a system, they've got a formula to buy these and make them profitable in like a month, you know? That, at least that's my naive hypothesis, and that's usually the mindset that I come in new niches. Obviously, in my case, it would be tech focused. I don't want to do anything with real estate and physical stuff. So I come up with these guys. Yes, they can pay me the classic monthly, or they can go hybrid. They pay me monthly a bit less, and that they give me a percentage of the commission or full commission. That is my hypothesis. And over the midterm, I would actually take that capital, buy the businesses myself, and sell them a day or a week after. That would be the moonshot part.
Got it. I have zero clue about these niches where they make these returns in such a short amount of time. I'm coming more from the tech industry. There, people would buy something and then scale it up further and sell it a few years later for 3x. I think there are some PEs out there who follow a roll-up strategy. That means they just look for different companies that they can combine together to a bigger conglomerate or holding company. Because in the market, the more revenue you have, the bigger you are, the higher the multiple. So that means by rolling companies up, you actually can achieve a premium in a short amount of time. Cannot really help you with your niche, but if these niches are out there and they're big and there's a lot of quantity in there, and they, I don't know, you know, like if it's hard to do lead gen in Orlando to find these companies and you can help them with that, you know, why not?
In Passion's case, I see here you have attractive packages, $120 a month. Tell us about your ICP and your growth plan for 2024.
Yeah, ICP is a creator. So that means someone, actually an entrepreneurial creator. So someone that sells product, either digital or e-com, and has an audience of, doesn't have to be big actually, can be even a few thousand people. And yeah, wants to scale that further, right? That's something where we can help, because we have a no-code mobile app builder that allows them to build to deliver really cool user experiences. And in the modern world where the whole creator economy and audiences are on the phone, apps are like the thing. So if you like still build web pages, welcome to 2023 or 2024, because web pages are 90s.
And then you have your own payment platform. So you charge 3.9%. What percentage of revenue is that responsible for in the company?
Yeah, so the 3.9, you know, it started that we had some of the creators joining, they didn't know how to take payment. And so they couldn't launch their apps. So we're like, oh, interesting. Let's launch a payment gateway called Pion Payments with Stripe underneath. Creators also didn't want to use necessarily in-app payments with Apple and Google, because there they pay 15 to 30% commission. And they own already the customer relationship, right? So why would they pay 15 to 30% commission if they already have the customer? So they want to use web checkouts to then deliver via app. But they didn't have a checkout in place, so we built one for them. So it's more unlocking them to actually launch their apps. But today, actually, we also have some, of course, GMV coming through this payment processor. However, I would say it's still a basic one. And in order to really get product market fit with the more advanced creators, it needs to become more powerful, supporting order bumps and upsells. to really capture more GMV from the rather bigger creators. So today it's 7% of the total GMV that we process.
Interesting. What do you think about OnlyFans?
I think it's an interesting approach. Clearly super successful. Hundreds of millions of definitely revenue, and likely EBIT also like really strong. It's clearly in the niche of adult entertainment. I think what they've done smartly is to essentially take or build an Instagram behind a paywall, which is even smarter because on Instagram you cannot show certain parts of your body, and on OnlyFans you can behind that paywall. So it's a really good way for creators in the adult entertainment space to monetize their products. And also the gamification behind it is done pretty well. I think we're coming ourselves more from the non-adult entertainment space for one, and second, our products are more courses, libraries, coaching, chat, community, tracking. It's less about, hey, let me reveal a really nice picture of someone. So the feature set is different, but I think there's still something that we can learn from them.
Are you deploying a course yourself currently at the moment? And what would you have in your course pipeline that you think can serve a lot of people, make a lot of money, and reach your ikigai?
Yeah, so what we learned quite early on is that success in the creator economy is highly unevenly distributed. There's a few who are highly successful and many are not. That is true for all the players in the creator economy. So Kajabi, Shopify, Patreon, Twitch, and all of these kind of players. There was on Reddit, actually, when Twitch got hacked, you could see all the data of who's really making money on Twitch. You could see there was like 50 people. Yeah, for like Twitch, they think like it's huge. For Patreon, there was the information public because the profiles are public, and you can then use the creators times the money, and you can see who's making money. 0.5% make more than $500 a month. 0.5% is almost no one. Anyways, you have to educate creators that they make the right things. Otherwise, they spend a lot of time doing the wrong things. And for that reason, the education piece in our company is quite big, quite significant. We have a bootcamp, 30-day bootcamp, which we push people into before they even launch anything, which leads to 80% of the people that complete the bootcamp make revenue. Yeah, so it's a really important part. And then now we're actually double tripling down on that by launching something we call Expert Growth, which is a program after they launched initially and made their first 4 figures to scale it up to 6 figures. And then we will put something on top in January, which is called the Creator MBA, which ultimately is this thing that you should really get because, you know, like if you become a lawyer today or a doctor, there is universities around the globe where you can get the education to get there. But if you want to become a successful creator, you can only look at others and try to clone what they're doing. And we want to change that by launching the Creator MBA, which gives them the exact education on how to get customers, how to market, how to sell, what product to launch at what price points and what funnels and so on and so forth in their niches to really create product market fit and scale that business up to financial independence.
I've tried courses on and off over the last couple of years. They've hit my success mark. They're scalable, so I don't need to invest my time once they're sold. But investing my time is good also because it, as a coach or a consultant, because I get to learn about my clients and fix their problem, and then put these fixes in my actual course. Also, courses tend to be lower ticket, which is less exciting for me to hop on a call and just sell them to someone via my high ticket coaching program. So how do you recommend that I go for that? Should I start another class and just see how it goes? By the way, the classes I start is like a Google Docs, you know, it's something really simple.
Yeah, so I don't know about your courses, of course, but the market standard of course completion rate for courses, web courses, are 4%. Yeah, that means you bring 1,000 people in and 40 complete the course. Yeah, so essentially courses are broken, courses are dead. If you think ultimately your course, what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to impact people to make them go from A to B, and to do something different, right? So if you think about that, it's actually, you need to have consistent behavior change, right? To build up that habit to really like make a difference. If you now think courses versus apps, then apps are built for repeat usage. Every app that you use is built for repeat usage, coming with push notifications, simple UI to just build out that habit much better. And as apps are built for repeat usage, they're actually the superior tool compared to a web course to really impact people, and completion rates and usage rates and engagement are much better. So for that reason, it's like the new wave after the Podias, the Kajabis, the Learn Worlds, and whatever's out there.
Your referral program, did you get success with that?
The referral program, we haven't really like focused on pushing that. I would say also because we don't believe it will be the biggest thing, which is interesting because when we started and we saw Kajabi has 40% through affiliates and referrals, and I don't know the details there, but it's quite a big marketing channel for them. For us, it's not yet. And I wonder why that is. It either means that we still need more of the rather bigger creators, but then they also won't really push or refer. The smaller ones maybe, but they're not successful. They're working on their own thing. So I think like we haven't cracked that yet on how to deploy a successful referral program in the market. We make some sales through it, of course, but it's not a big channel for us at this point.
Companies you're following and your comments on the recent OpenAI saga.
What's that? Could you repeat that?
Companies you're following, you're modeling, and your comments on the OpenAI saga. Why OpenAI? Because it's the biggest and baddest companies of all time. Yeah,
that's true. Companies I'm following. Of course, in the market, I look at what Kajabi is doing, what Shopify is doing, LearnWorlds, Uscreen, Circle, Mighty, and so on and so forth. So just like see what's evolving. Interestingly, the market is big. There's a lot of successful players. I don't think it's a winner takes it all. So there's space for everyone, which is nice, right? So we all get inspiration from each other. I think the AI hype or also ChatGPT, the GPTs and so on, they really are quite interesting for the whole market, because one of the biggest problems with creating courses, creating apps, creating anything is that you have to create content. And AI is the perfect tool to fast track content creation. And of course, you can take it further and can say, okay, help me to create not just the content itself, but the course outline, the content for the course, the design of the course, the design of my page, my web page itself, and everything, right? So ultimately, it's a fast track to be ready to deliver your content. And a lot of people actually never launch because they get stuck in their content. So it's a big enabler, very important for the industry. Can it become even bigger that at some point you don't need like any of the Kajabis, Shopify's, Passions of this world, because you just like go to ChatGPT and it's like your super coach for everyone and like no one cares anymore. That could be. I think you can build some modes here by focusing on community, for example, so that you bring people together and they can then around maybe even a trained bot or a trained GPT nerd out about woodworking or whatever, and see this rather as an enabler, so that you're rather in your crowd together with this GPT. I think this is also the direction that OpenAI was going or is going, having like trained GPTs that they also allowed to monetize. At least that's what they announced in their keynote before Sam Altman. I don't know if he's now like working there or not anymore. Like what's the latest? Okay. But yeah, it goes that direction. So I think it's interesting. And of course, everyone is moving very fast, and the opportunity, I think like it will change everything. Do we still have a window of 5 to 10 years? I believe yes. Can we use it to grow even faster? I also believe yes. I think ultimately it's a competition, right? And I'm not going to sit in the corner and cry, but rather embrace that and deliver value to customers. So I'm optimistic.
And hopefully you're going to be in the arena and fight, because there's a lot of bystanders. And I can only imagine a GPT that would scrape my full computer activities on a daily basis find out what I'm doing that's unique against this market out there, have a virtual AI Charles avatar, build a course and sell it at scale, hopefully through cold email, but also through advertising and all of that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah, 100%.
It's like a
100%.
Venn diagram of like, what do I do that people are not doing? And what does the market need, right? And then it would deploy that course. And obviously people's AI would buy that course too, because it would be a fit with what they're missing. I think we're not that far away from that.
But you know what, like I think what's interesting, I have two things on that. Number one is not everyone is like you. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there in the creator space, in the audience space. They don't know how to open even a course or speak to someone, crop a picture, click a link. Like, it's pretty crazy. And they appreciate to speak with, let's say, a normal person. You can say, yeah, but now, like with Synthesia and all these other AI tools, there will be like a carbon copy of myself that just can like do a better job than myself. I get it. I think here we'll see something where the crypto space comes in, where actually the authentic real people will be tagged, or through the blockchain will have, you know, will be authenticated, yet you know, like, okay, this is actually not a deep fake, this is the real Charles. And then there will be something where, you know, people are longing also for the real Charles. And I think that's still a thing. I think it's exciting to speak to deepfake Charles, but there will be people that want to speak to the real Charles. At least that's my current thinking. Maybe it'd be different in a few years from now.
Yeah, and say that it's my course. Well, the price point would reflect that. If it's real Charles coaching, there would be this biometric software. And so my hardware here, it would capture the saliva molecule that are coming out of my mouth and identify that this is my DNA and that this is the real Charles in real time that you're speaking to. Hence why you'd pay 10,000 an hour to be on that call with the real Charles, which would be smarter than an AI for a very long time. I cannot picture.
Who knows until when, right? I think what's really scary is you know, like our wives, right? Theoretically, you could have a partner, a wife, deepfake wife, which like is listening, is doing all the things that you always, you know, like wanted to discuss, and she's finally understanding and so on, right? So this shit is fucking scary what's coming there. So
yeah, just that you need to make a choice, you know, do you want to be a serotonin fiend or do you want actual challenge in your life? And that's where you need to rewire your brain and understand that, you know, the perfect wife does not agree to everything you want and give you sex all the time. You know, that's not how it is. And I think that will really create two classes in society: people that want to work and accept suffering and accept growth, right?
The deepfake wife knows that, of course, and she's going to like give you a hard no to things, and she knows how to tease you and also in order to stimulate more. So I think like, yeah, I don't know when this is coming, if it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, but what is coming is ginormous.
Yeah, or you could see, you know, a replica of your wife, you know, her best self, and when you guys fight and you're like, should I keep on doing that? It could be a better version of her telling you like, oh, I just felt bad today and everything's gonna be fine. That would be a good product. There's gonna be a bunch of these products, and then not to talk about Neuralink, you know. I think we're gonna evolve pretty quick, but the thing
like a Charles in your pocket, right? That gives you feedback instantaneously in a conversation with your wife that you should better shut up.
Yeah, or we're just gonna be instantly our better selves, you know, and we're gonna be aligned. But then the free will question comes, you know, do we have free will nowadays? Are we really responsible of our full destiny? I think it's just gonna drastically accelerate, and some people are gonna be left behind, quote unquote, in their headsets, you know, like Ready Player One, and some other folks will become AI oligarch. And even before that reality, for example, me with the tools that I have, cold email and so forth, I do believe that a bunch of us are going to become very wealthy really quick. If you can picture sending 1 million emails per day with an AI that would trick the spam filters, right? And write the right thing all the time, that's not sorcery. You know, we're getting there very quick.
Yeah, sure. But my invoice AI will like then reply emails like representing me, and then I don't even read it because my AI does it. So
Yeah,
it's
then
like
becomes
AI
a war,
talking to
like you
AI.
said. It becomes a competition, right? Like of
Yeah.
who is more advanced. Very interesting convo, Matt. Where can people find out more about you?
Sure. Instagram, Passion Matt or Passion.io on Instagram, LinkedIn. Feel free to just add me. Matthias for the Americans, Matthias, the German pronunciation, Bellman. Maybe you can also link it somewhere. Yeah, just on the social channels, I'm there.